one of a kind. They don't see it, I pull out their eyes. I'm on a rise.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to the Cannonman and Easy 12 channels. I'm obviously Cannonman, and I'm joined today by a very, very lovely man, Easy 12. And we're going to just look at the dev stream today. I've watched it, Easy hasn't, so this is going to be interesting. And yeah, I don't know if you would like to add anything before we get to the point.
Yeah, thank you, Cannonman, for joining and for having me in both ways. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to do like a reaction to the dev stream, the English one with Oxy and Michael Goes Boom. Yeah, it's basically what we're going to do, discuss some things and talk about some things. Hopefully it won't all be negative, but hopefully a lot of it will be good. Please don't forget to go check out Cannonman's channel, give him a like, a sub, comment, check his Discord and all his links to his socials. With my channel, I'll have all his links to his socials in the description below, and mine as well in the below. But yeah, give us a like, give us a comment, share. We're small YouTubers trying to make it in a big fish pond. It'll be really appreciated. So yeah, Cannonman, anything from your side?
Yeah, guys, just likewise, please go give Easy's channel a squiz. He does a lot of really awesome stuff. And if you enjoy my stuff, you'll enjoy his stuff. He just comes with a very different, well, not a very different, but a nice different perspective to what I do. And I think that's why we also work so well together. But anyway, let us get on into it. Like I said, I've seen the dev stream. Easy hasn't. I've already got a couple of bones to pick with this, but we'll get to those in due time. But for now, we are going to just look at, I think, something that's quite surface level, I suppose. The profile changes. So if you are ready, we can press play.
Okay, I'm pressing play. We're watching this on two separate streams because my recording software didn't want to catch on using one place. So I'm just informing people we might be a bit out of tune.
Yeah, we tried to stream it over on Discord so we could both follow together, but there was, that was all fun and games. So anyway, Charlie.
Yes, I'm pressing play now.
So you'll see there already that they've added a bit more detail to sort of what is being displayed. I think this is quite a nice touch for those who are very like knee deep in achievements and such. I personally think the effort is, it's there, but it's not. I don't think this was really necessary, but that's just my opinion.
I kind of in one head do like this concept of these things getting done, like achievements getting a bit more attention. But my problem with it, and this is I've noticed in every game, every type of PvP game, no matter if in War Thunder, Daisy, Scum, all of these type of things, you always get this one guy that thinks he's dog shit because he got every achievement and gives him a big head.
Yeah, he thinks he's the shit.
Yes. Now,
yeah,
that is my problem with it. War Thunder, it used to be a game where you could play to have fun. Now it's become a game with people that just want to be the sweaty, that just want to be the man, that just wants to get that 20 kills in a battle and screw everyone. I was watching another YouTuber this week talking about this exact same thing. And by encouraging this type of stuff, this is the problem with it. You're encouraging that type of playstyle. That's my problem with it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think we've discussed it on a couple of occasions where we have, and I'm not saying now the whole community is toxic. Obviously, that's not the case. The whole community, by and large, is pretty nice and chilled, and a good bunch of lads and ladies. But the problem is, as with any community, you've always got that one bunch of bad apples, and I think this just aggravates that bad bunch. And yes, they are quite small, but they're still a menace to deal with. That being said, I think it's nice also because it shows you what you've accomplished on a personal level. And putting the bad eggs aside, putting the bad apples aside, I think this is a nice way for you to also understand your own gameplay a bit. If that's
Mm.
obviously how you want to analyze the game, you can go, okay, cool. I've got this amount of kills, this amount of respawns. Maybe I should check about how many times I'm dying in a match because maybe I'm dying too often, and then you go and look at how to improve that. I don't know. To me, I think it's nice, but it's also just I think to me it's just too surface level.
But
It
it's
doesn't really do anything. It doesn't add anything to the game. I know that a couple of other guys, like European Canadian and some of my own mates, they're like, "Oh, this is such a big deal." I don't really get the idea or hype behind it. But again, maybe I'm just not the target audience for this. But anyway,
yeah, I agree with you.
it
And it's
has.
something that you come
Yeah,
back to what you said. War Thunder's tutorial is so freaking outdated. Okay, really,
yeah,
that thing is outdated. They should rather work on that. The game has developed so far beyond that tutorial now, and
yeah,
this is a nice way. I do agree with what you said that you can monitor your stats and all of that, but they could have done it just with a normal graph.
yeah. No, I agree.
They didn't need this
But
fancy thing. But this is also training
mm,
the sweaties now to improve their game.
yeah,
But we know what I was thinking about this. If you're a diehard War Thunder fan and you've got a small clan going on and you're recruiting or a battalion, I don't know what squad or squadron, or I don't know what they called in War Thunder because I don't play with them. This would
yeah,
be a nice idea when you're doing recruitment to check a player's stats. Is he worthwhile recruiting to your squadron? Is he not? Uh, That could
yeah.
work
No,
out,
I think
especially
that's a
when
fair thing. Yeah,
going to esports. If War Thunder ever gets to esports properly, if they ever fix their shit, that
yeah.
this will be a pretty cool recruitment tool to use. Actually, that's what I think in a
Yeah, no,
nutshell.
I think that's actually a very valid point. I didn't even consider that. Like, there are competitive squadrons within War Thunder,
Hmm.
um, and I think this helps them more than anybody else, really, in the recruitment aspect, as you've just mentioned.
I've,
So, yeah, I think that's a good point. Yeah,
I've played with the South African squadron for a bit, but I'm not into that type of thing. I was invited to take part in several other squadrons from Battle that they just messaged me and say, "Let's join our squadron." I'm just not that I'm not a team player. It's just I prefer single player. I prefer that, and I guess it's kind of wrong, and that's what drives the sweaty. So maybe I am a sweaty. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, this is. I think this will be a. It's it's like a yin yang. It's good and bad, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. No, and I think that's a good point to leave that on.
Hmm.
Shall we jump through to 2 minutes 12, and just let me know when you're ready? So this is where we start to see some of the new vehicles. This particular vehicle that's coming up already is coming to a couple of tech trees, so we won't go too much into it in other parts of the stream, but we'll go through this one in particular because it again comes in other tech trees. You ready?
Yeah, I've started pressing play. What the hell is this
Cool.
bloody thing?
So you're looking at the M44. So this is a unique vehicle because it's built on the M24 chassis, and
Yeah,
as such, obviously has its mobility, its maneuverability. It's got no armor to speak of, as you can tell. It's an open top SPG, sorry. So yeah, take that as you will. And I think this is quite nice because obviously we've now had a lot more top tier, and Oxy and Micro's Boom cover this as well. It's nice to see a little bit more of the big caliber friends, as Oxy calls them, um, the HE friends coming, and coming specifically to lower tiers rather.
yeah.
Because yeah, I mean we've got a lot of like, and again there's another one in this dev stream as well. We've already got other top tier ish SPHs coming, and I think it's time we see more of the lower tier ones because those are a lot more unique and a lot more. Um, there's a lot more variety between the different types than a top tier or even mid tier where a lot of the SPHs are just homogenous in design, right?
Yeah, I two bites. I think it's gonna be fun. Okay, they're gonna be cool. Uh, my big problem with mobile artillery or wheeled artillery is it's played, and this is one of my bigger problems. You should know this with War Thunder. A lot of things are played in the roles that they were not intended to be do. And the problem with a big dope gun like this is balancing that I can see with. If you have it too early, it's literally going to one tap, as they would say, everything it comes across, but it could also get one tapped. Okay, but if you have it too late in the tier, in the tech tree,
It's going to be useless.
it's going to be useless.
Yeah.
So that's my problem with these mobile artillery pieces coming into the game. The balancing act is very, very, very difficult, and that's why I'm not a big fan of them because of that simple fact. It's I'm on the fence with this. I'm on the fence. Really, I am. For historical purposes, for the being in the game, nice.
Yeah.
Where it fits in, balancing how you got to play it, it's yeah, I'm in the fence. Should it be played as artillery? Should Gaijin implement a mechanic to use it as an artillery type of thing? Should it be used as an anti-tank platform? What it was never designed actually for, even though a secondary role could be. It's yeah, I'm really on the fence. I don't know how to solve this issue for me myself.
No, that's fair. And I think what's nice with this particular, so if we jump through to 3:25, 3 minutes 25 seconds, and just watch a little bit of the stream there, I'll keep quiet, obviously, so that the guys can hear what the lads have to say about the vehicle in question. Um, but you'll see the mobility and the overall characteristics of the vehicle, and I think this is quite nice because it does come with a fairly large gun and quite a large amount of TNT. So it's quite robust in terms of being up tier proof almost. And I think what's nice is that because it's so lightly armored and armed in terms of it's only got the one gun and a 50, it is in its own way, the weaknesses kind of balance out the strength. So that's just obviously how I see it. There are other people that I know that disagree. But let's see here. This is just the mobility of this vehicle.
Well, what I'm seeing watching the stream now, um, it's got a huge damn city for a crew. So crew is there. Okay, and there's also an old saying in War Thunder that the older players know: no armor is the best armor. So I do see that it's got a very good 50. We all know 50 bias. So yeah, it could be quite survivable, could do the job, but I don't think it's going to be a front line like an IS or a something along that. I think you're going to have to still use your team and hide behind them and shoot. That's how I feel about it. You're going to be just support for your team.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I think it'll function a bit more like the tech tree SAVs with the only with the HE in Sweden. I think it'll function a bit more like that, where yes, they can brawl a little bit, but as you say, their main role is kind of the support. So they kind of hide in the tree line or hide in a hull down position and just lob artillery rounds at opportunity targets, light tanks, AAs, etc., and let the main frontline tanks, light tanks, medium, heavy, etc., actually deal with the brawling. I think that's how this one will also play out. But anyway, let us jump through to basically 5 minutes. There is a vehicle here that I found quite funny because in the stream, Mike kind of goes, I think there's going to be a particular YouTuber who starts with an S who's going to be very happy about this. And he was referring to Spookston. And it was really funny because not long after the dev stream, Spookston put up a post on his YouTube thing, basically slamming this vehicle something stupid because it's basically a worse HSTVL. as you can see on the stat card, I'm not going to play through this clip just because it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a light vehicle. I mean, you guys can see in the stat cards there. Bear in mind, everybody, that this is obviously subject to change, but you can see in the stat cards the whole armor is only 38 mils thick on its thickest parts, right? Which is nothing. 38 mils is like nothing. Okay, yes, it is a light tank, so fine, fair enough. It has a worse engine with 350 horsepower. Yes, it is lighter at 13.4 tons, but it's also got more ammunition. It's got a slightly, I think this one has a slightly slower reload, if I'm not mistaken, or it's the same reload, but you've got a bigger ammo pool. So where you have the HSVTL being really good because it's a small vehicle, it's got relatively decent armor for the vehicle class that it is. It's got a very small ammo pool, and it's got more elevation, which I find worse gun elevation angle than the HSVTL. This thing basically is a worse HVTL in every regard except for ammo, where this thing can carry 60 rounds. The HSVTL can only carry, I think, it's like 26 rounds. So, yeah, I mean,
And this is a
as a
GE.
premium, yeah, well, it's a premium. I don't know if it's going to be a pack or a GE or what, but
Let's
I think
see.
as a premium vehicle, I think it's okay because again, it's not broken. It's not the HSVTL, but I do think this should have come as a tech tree vehicle
I
because
agree.
it is. I think it should have gone below the HSCTL, even if it's by like 0.3 BR, just to sort of be that intermediary between. I don't even know what comes before the HSCTL, but between that and that vehicle. So yeah, a worse HSVTL in pretty much every regard, and a little disappointing because there was a lot of hype around this
Hmm.
vehicle. Look, I mean, it's got good thermals and such. Now, there was some quality of life changes also mentioned in the stream referring to the customized gunner sights, but I don't think it's necessary for us to go into that too much because we already know sort of what that's about. We've seen it. It's nothing new. So if we can jump through to 9 minutes
I
39,
just
we
want
get
to
to the
say
next
something
vehicle.
about this quickly.
Yep, yep.
Now,
Yep, go for it.
I'm a big fan of autocannons. Okay, anyone that's watched this channel and that knows, I do love autocannon. And unfortunately, this is going to be one of these that people are going to buy, run into a game, run to a spawn point, cap the spawn point, die, spawn in an aircraft.
Yeah.
This is basically what this is going to be. And then they're going to get all their kills with their aircraft. So
Yeah.
this is basically what this thing is going to basically be, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Because if you check out the rewards and that, I mean, even getting an assist in this thing will be payable. The reward will be worth it. So we look at it as a worse vehicle, but what Gaijin looks is, okay, we're selling it for $80, but the rewards that you're going to get off the premium status, yeah.
yeah, no, I think, yeah. Yeah, I don't have much good to say about that particular vehicle.
I don't have
But
much
yeah,
good to say about this in the store or as a GE pack.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Okay,
Okay,
9 minutes 39, we get to a big boy. Now,
9 minutes 39.
yeah, now this particular one, like I mentioned earlier, another more modern SPH. This is a German SPH, and it has
Panzer
been in service
2000.
for, yeah, Panzerhaus.
Yeah, Panzerhaus
Panzer,
was something
I don't actually
2000.
have the full name.
Yeah.
Okay, PZH 2000. Um, been in service for quite a while. I was seen in Iraq, Afghanistan a bit, and it still is in service in a few countries today, including Germany. And yeah, it's a it's another SPH. I don't know what to tell you. So what's unique about this thing? Okay, aside from the fact that even though it's meant to kill things from 30 kilometers away, right? It has to have, according to German regulation, it has to have safety lights for when it drives because Germans. But yeah, so it's going to have a laser rangefinder. It doesn't have a spool liner, so unlike the Chinese SPH that came during the Firebirds update, This one doesn't have a spool liner. It's not auto loaded. It's got a 6.9-second reload on an aced crew with turret rotation at 11 degrees per second on an ace crew. It's got 65 degrees of elevation and -2 degrees of depression. It's got no armor to speak of. Weighs 57 tons. It can get up to 60 kph, and it's a pretty visible vehicle with 95% because it's built like a fucking barn. That's all I'm gonna say. If we watch the stream just a little bit, you can skip through to the 9 minute 58. You'll see the overall armor layout. So it's got composite screening on most of the vehicle, not offering a whole bunch of protection. But I do think if you could angle the vehicle, you'd get a bit more survivability.
I don't
It does
know.
have a very limited turret rotation. So yeah,
I don't know. This look at this thing. Okay, like you said, it's built like a damn barn. Okay.
Hmm.
In War Thunder with the maps that are a bit small. Okay. Aircraft, especially Cass, at this very
Yeah,
moment.
this thing's gonna get bombed to shit.
Okay, that's my biggest issue with this. Angling this thing, I don't think you're going to be much saved in it because I'm looking at those big fat cheeks on it. It's got big fat cheeks on those turrets.
Yeah, I mean that's also a fair point. I suppose.
And I was looking at the ammo that's stored right at the back there. This thing's got paper thin armor, so time fuse. Yeah, you're going to be smoking a lot of human barbecue with this thing. Um, I got an idea. The gun could be good, but I got an idea this thing's not going to have the survivability of. I think it's going to be horrible. I just got this feeling. The gun is huge. The vehicle is huge.
But bear in mind, it does have a laser rangefinder, so you don't have close.
Yeah, you don't have to get close, but you're going to shoot someone halfway across the map. That guy's going to get pissed off with you and spawn in with Cass and come and hunt your ass down.
Yeah, look, I don't have an answer for the cat, but you know, you're just gonna have to place your faith in Lord Jesus and your team.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, like in terms of ground-to-ground combat, if you don't play this thing like a breacher, like some idiots play
Me?
the paladin, yeah, like some people play the bloody paladin and the Vidal. No, it's not a breacher, guys. It's an artillery piece. Use it as such.
That's, I think,
You
is the
can't-
one.
You can't sacrifice your superior range and arguably better caliber for I want kills, must go kill with bayonet.
Yeah.
Come now.
Nah, I think this is a one kill dice spawn in a tank. I honestly think this.
I think you'll get maybe like 2-3 kills if you're lucky
Mm.
before you inevitably receive either return fire from an autocannon, because that would shred this thing to bits.
But yeah,
Or
completely.
from a CAS, and it sits at 7.7, so you might encounter a helicopter or two, a very early one, so like the H-34 or the Scout. I think the Mi-4 is at 8.0, so not unreasonable to assume you'd encounter that as well. And it's got anti-tank missiles, so yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah,
This
let's
is
move
pretty
on.
much a one-trick pony in my book.
Yeah, one trick
But yeah,
pony. I
let's move
agree
on.
with you.
Just quickly looking at the rounds, the ammunition that it gets, it has a VT round, so a anti-aircraft round basically, or a timed fuse round, as well as a much bigger, much faster 155 round that it comes with. So I mean, it could be fun, but again, I do think it's going to be a one-trick pony. There is a Hungarian one that'll be added as a premium to the Italian tech tree. It comes with a neat little camo net over the top, and I think that's a good way to add this thing in because it's a unique vehicle for a unique nation, not operated in sufficient enough number to maybe quantify being added in as a tech tree vehicle, or perhaps it's operated in a different variant. That's why it's not a tech tree vehicle. I don't know, but the point being is it's unique. It's got a cool little camo net. I think this is how premium should be. But yeah, that's that. Let's move on. There's also one for, I think, France. I don't actually know. But yeah, Germany will also get the M44, which is quite nice. Let us quickly, if I can just find it. Okay, so we'll talk quickly about the Typhoon.
Where's that?
Okay,
Where's
this
that?
is one of my biggest bones to pick. So 12 minutes 54. you will see the German variant of this aircraft, or the German operated variant of this aircraft. So, for those who don't know, the Eurofighter Typhoon was made by three nations: Italy, uh,
You,
UK, and Germany. I think
yes.
actually might have been Spain, but anyway, the point being is it operated by, or
There were
built by
many.
three nations,
There were
operated by many.
there were many countries that put money into the project, but not many countries that actually built it. Part of it
Yeah.
is built in Germany, part of it's built in UK, and then also I can't remember the third country. It gets moved around like that to a final assembly point. But yeah, it was a big project. Many European countries did put funds into the project, but never had anything to really do with the project.
Mm.
It's the normal way of European development of weapons. Pay money, someone develop it, and then everyone gets a cut.
That's fair, I suppose.
So
But yeah, so okay, so there's a couple of things. Okay, let's just talk about the air. Okay, so you got AIM-9 L1s or LIs. I believe they were L1s or whatever the case is. But anyway, you got an AIM-9L as a infrared missile, and the AIM-120B as your Fox 3. We know those; they're in the game. Nothing too hectic. You got your GBU-48, your paveway 2s, and then you've also got paveway 4s, which are very similar to what's on the F, or if not the same as what's on the F-15E. These can switch between laser guided and GPS guided. Um, I don't fully understand if those are mid-flight. As far as I understand it, you can't switch them mid-flight. So once you've launched it, it's in the mode that it's in, right? No, actually, I lied. Yes, you can, because on the previous dev stream he did show. Okay, so basically how these work is you can launch them and then switch to laser guided while they're mid-flight. Okay, let's just keep that in mind. You can switch these things in their guidance mode while they're flying. Keep that in mind. And then you have, if you skip to timestamp, 13 minutes and 29 seconds, 13 and a half 13 and a half minutes, right? You will see that this particular aircraft gets the brimstones. Woo!
what did you
Good
say?
stuff.
13?
13 and a half. So these things get the brimstone. Okay. Now, the brimstone has a unique function in the real world. And I have a sneeze coming, so I apologize if I sneeze. It should come in the next couple of seconds. But the brimstones in the real world can find and acquire their own targets. Okay. Grand. Whatever. So when the brimstones were added on the Tornado GR4, I was really amped for them to come to the game because while now Britain has a extremely capable CAS aircraft, hopefully this means that we should see some similar stuff come, and also it allows the British to really be a good top tier power in terms of close air support and fighter superiority, right? We've got the Gripen. If we had the Brimstone on the GR4, it'll be even better, right? And then they go and they drop the bombshell that, oh, the Brimstones are not going to be able to do what they're going to be able to do. We're just making them, in essence, GBUs or laser guided bombs, right? Why
Yeah.
add the brimstones if you're not going to allow them to do what they need to do? And their reasoning for not allowing the brimstones to do what they need to do is that the brimstones, there's no counter to that capability in the game and it requires no skill. Okay. Now they've added the ability for AA to track incoming projectiles. Now, for those who haven't played a top tier AA system, you may be forgiven into thinking that the AA in top tier is very difficult to operate. It's really not. You lock onto your aircraft, you hold your mouse over a specific point that's usually highlighted, or you can deduce where it would be, and you just let the missile do the rest. So long as you keep that lock, that aircraft is dead. Because for some fucking reason, Gaijin will allow the AA to completely ignore chaff and flares and any other divisive countermeasures, notching and such. And essentially, so long as what you can launch, you and keep eyesight on the aircraft, you can kill it, right? That's great. And aircraft have no counter to that because flares don't work, chaff doesn't work. Which, bear in mind, chaff is supposed to mess with ground radar as well as airborne radar. And unless you're flying behind a mountain, they're just going to keep you locked. Okay, that's just the crux of it. And then they add the Pantsir, which can hit you up 20 kilometers out, and I think it's been increased to now 22, which is pretty much the entire fucking airspace. I'm sorry to swear like that, but it's literally the entire fucking airspace, pretty much around the battlefield. The Brimstones can, in real life, they can launch pretty far out. It's like something like, I think, 50 kilometers you can launch, and then they find their own way to a target. And then acquire their own targets as well, which is cool, fine, I get it. You don't want that kind of capability. But instead of, not giving them that capability, make that range, that launch range, less. Say, okay, cool, you're only allowed to launch range within 15 capability or 11. The Roland can hit at 12 kilometers. The ADAS can hit at 11 kilometers. The Pantsir can hit at 20. The Tor can hit at, I think it's 15 or 18. And now there's a new Tor system coming, which has an even better range than that. So let's just call it 20 as well. Every AA system outranges any capability pretty much of aircraft. And yes, the glide bombs have some use, but they are very difficult to, especially when you're being shot at by an entire fucking battalion, pretty much, of anti-aircraft systems, including the Pantsir, in often cases. It's incredibly difficult to operate. And yes, you can say that, oh, that's just a skill issue. Perhaps it is, but I don't think it is, because I'm not the only person who feels like this. It's a large portion of the community, and especially British players who continuously feel like they've been cheated out of good kit. But that's just
I
my
agree
reason.
with you. Now, something coming back to what you said, I don't play high tier CAS aircraft or high tier tanks or anything, okay? So I don't really know what the issue is. I spawn in with the marksman if I do play that type of high tier, and I just let rip with my autocannons, even though the marksman has got a shit ammo storage, okay? But anyway, it takes really a lot to shoot down a jet, but that's just me because I don't use the radar or anything. I believe in the old school of try to find your target, try to shoot him down. But something that I've been moaning to myself about, and I still want to do a video with you about some things but I'll talk to you after the video, is in air warfare, even today in ground warfare, you've got this cyber, what they call it. So modern air warfare is you send the AWACS, an early warning system, up. It coordinates with all forces around it. Then you've got aircraft that have got jamming equipment that go in and jam enemy radar systems and all of that. Then you've got the aircraft that come in that actually do the bombing runs, that destroy the targets that have been jammed. Now, War Thunder doesn't want, in my opinion, to implement such things. And I've been advocating for it. I would really like it. Even like with ground forces, I would like to see repair vehicles come into the scene. Yeah. You know? That if you're damaged in the battlefield, someone comes up with his the repair tank or the recovery vehicle and starts repairing you and gets points for repairing you and keeping you alive. I think that would be so cool. And the anti-jamming, coming back to what you say, I think could actually help War Thunder top tier CAS and top tier aircraft. You see, that's just how I feel about it. It would give them more opportunities to add more things. And as they're always talking about skill, even though I don't see much skill in War Thunder anymore today, it will give people a new thing to learn, a new thing to play, open so much more different type of tactics. because then you're just not
refresh
relying.
the game.
Yeah, you're not just relying on missile anti-aircraft systems anymore. You also got to have your autocannons.
Yeah.
So I just think War Thunder is they like sitting good opportunities miss. Sorry for the dogs barking.
No, it's all good.
And I think that could help with what you were saying now. That you get swarmed by 20 guys freaking spawning in with cash just because you destroyed him in his IS-6. Spawning in with AA, SPAA, as War Thunder says it, anti-aircraft guns or whatever. I think that would help bring some bit more balance into the game if it's implemented correctly. And you can give rewards to people that, you know, jam a Tor missile system or something like that, or give him the kill assist or something. That's just my view on it.
And I think also what's nice to lead onto that is that it's not only aircraft that have this capability. There are ground-based
Yes.
systems
Yes.
that can bring that same thing. So it's tit for tat, you know.
Yes.
And then it becomes all of a sudden now there's this not only there's this kinetic warfare happening with tank rounds and missiles. Now you've got this electronic warfare aspect, and then you've got, you know, it makes the game much more intense. And again, refreshes the game just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think a good way to start, like, I mean, we've got the Challenger 2 OES and TESS in the game, both of which have IED jamming or just electronic jamming in general, mounted on top of the tank. That would be a great test bed for that. Let that come in. Yeah, I mean, we may never know why they don't or do. But anyway, let us quickly tally on forward. So if you jump through to 17 minutes, 15 seconds, you can just watch the performance of the Euro Typhoon as I think it's Mike takes it out for a spin. So the thing has incredibly powerful engines. It's got a really good radar. It's supposed to have an IESA radar, which has more scanning arrays than the previous generation of radars. It's also got a much more in-depth RWR. Sorry, I had to look for the word there. What's really nice as well is that with the update, they'll be allowing you to switch between the air and the ground map and mark a point of interest on the map so that you can, once you spawn in, your camera will lock onto that. So let's say you want to mark a spawn on the ground map or on the B point, whatever, your camera will already lock onto it, and then you'll not have to look and identify what's going on first. And, you know, it just makes life a bit easier for CAS. I don't think that is a good capability. I think it still needs to be as it was. But, you know, as a CAS player myself and as somebody who enjoys shooting down CAS, I think it's a fair trade-off because you always know where they'll spawn in. And like I said, your AA systems are incredibly capable at the moment. So, yeah, but this also, you'll see that this is the new, and you'll see that it does pick up some of the at 18 minutes and a half. He does pick up some of the GPS glide bombs or the GPS bombs that Mike drops, and Oxy kind of picks them up a little bit. So yeah, that's the capability. It seems to be still quite rudimentary at the moment. Obviously, this is the dev, so be refined as it goes forward. But yeah, I think it's a good capability to have. Again, it allows CAS guys to just be a little bit more aware of what's going on. That's just my opinion, and I think it's a good thing for them as well, considering that now CAS players can mark on the map preemptively where they want to bomb almost, which is cool. But yeah,
you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen now with this, that SPA can shoot down your ordnance that you drop. I see this. You're going to get now a guy that downloads War Thunder player. He's going to go buy top tier premiums.
Of course.
He's going to buy a top tier aircraft. He's going to buy a top tier tank. And he's going to spawn in, get killed, spawn in the aircraft. But his loadout is going to be 52 100-pound bombs. I'm just using an example now, okay? Just an example. Just get the picture I'm painting. Yeah. He's going to fly over a target. He's going to drop all 52 bombs, overkill, on a target, and he's going to get shot down. because you won't be able to shoot down all the bombs at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's what I basically see happening with this now that they implement it. So that poor bugger in the tank in his IS-7 that he paid $80 for, he's going to get very annoyed very quickly.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
Or his fake Abrams for $80.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on that. Okay, so quickly through to 20 minutes for Estrella for Germany, which is quite nice.
Hang
We've got a
on.
BMD
22 minutes 40.
Yeah, I'm just listing off the 21 minutes and 4 seconds, even just 21 minutes, I suppose. There's a Strela M for Germany. It's the same as the Strela that's in the game already. At 21 and a half minutes, 21 minutes, 28 seconds. There is the BMD4. So this is quite nice. I'm a little bit sad that it's a premium. I was really hoping that it would come as a tech tree variant because we've BMD as an event vehicle. We don't have a BMD4 as a tech tree variant. So a little bit sad, but I suppose it makes sense. That's a good vehicle. That's an improved BMP3 essentially merged with the BMD4. This is why we have the BMD4M. It's the modernized version of the BMD4 with BMP3 parts, essentially to kind of get the best of both worlds there. It's amphibious, it can carry troops, it can fight. I think this can track aircraft as well a little bit. So yeah, solid vehicle. Yeah, don't know what else much really to say. It's a solid vehicle, light armor, good gun, Russian, typical Russian light vehicle. The interesting thing that comes next at 2351, the Su-33. We've both already covered this. We're not going to go into too much detail. Yeah, a little bit surprised that it's a squadron vehicle, but
Me
I think
too.
it's a decent thing, I guess. I don't know. It allows people to get into it a bit more. Then we've got the showcase of the Admiral Kuznetsov, which
The
is at
shit bucket.
24, 24 minutes, 39 seconds. So this is an interesting carrier. Easy's already covered it on his channel. I'm probably going to cover it a little bit later in the week. It's a ship with a unique story, let's say that, and quite a fiery tale, no pun intended. Now, I didn't get to watch the whole stream, and I see that there's a ship here. Is this the ship? I think it may be. 26 minutes. Oh, no, it's not. Damn. Okay, so 26 minutes, 52 seconds. We have a new Russian battleship 7.0, the Arklench. Okay, that word. My brain has short circuited. It's a decent ship. It's got four 15-inch guns and eight 3-inch, four 4-inch, and a bunch of AA or turrets. I think it's pretty huge. It's
Yeah.
got some really good armor around its belt. I think it's cool. I like it. It's a very chunky boy, and it makes me happy that it's a chunky boy.
My
I like
stance.
chunky boys.
My stance. The ships are beautifully modeled in War Thunder. Beautifully.
They are.
Okay. My gameplay stance on War Thunder, it's a shit show.
It needs help, yes.
It needs the maps. Once again, I come back to this. The naval maps, especially for Blue Water Fleet, is hopelessly too small for the amount, the distance the guns can fire. Now I know they've tried to change the aiming system, and they, instead of just going to what is broken and fixing what is broken, they always want to try fuck up everything else that was working perfectly.
Yeah, and I think like and Commander Tyrael has a solid point when he talks about this. It really does just need to be gutted and restarted.
It does. I agree. I agree 100%. I agree. Naval, I can still accept coastal, okay, because you don't need such a
okay.
you don't need a big map for coastal. I mean, if you go look what a coastal vessel is actually, you need a small little area, zigzag between like the maps are now. It's fine for me because you got little auto cannons, you got mongooses, and that type of thing. Perfect. The big naval ships, the battleships, the cruisers, the destroyers, the dreadnoughts, they need a rework. Their maps should be completely different and bigger. And
I think the mechanics and gameplay should also just be, overhauled. But yeah, let's quickly jump through. This is something I am extremely extremely excited for.
Okay, what timestamp?
27 minutes 50 seconds. And I saw this in the update preview. You guys won't see that video because I don't see the reason to upload it anymore. Unless you guys really want me to, then I'll just upload it as raw footage. You guys can choose.
What is this?
This is the HMS Rodney. Rodney is a particularly unique ship in the sense that it served quite extensively during the Second World War
Tabush, I
and
think.
was in part responsible for hunting both Bismarck and Tirpitz as part of the Royal Navy's Atlantic Fleet operations. And she did quite a number on enemy shipping, sinking quite a significant amount of cargo. And overall, I think she's just a very unique ship. You can tell by the layout of the ship that Gaijin and Gaijin is very much going on the weird and wonderful tangent now, because this ship bears remarkable resemblance to the French naval ship, the Dunkirk, with the turrets all in the front, sort of thing, and very little firepower at the back.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, I think I'm not going to talk too much on it because it's going to be another tangent, and we are a little bit heading on into midday. So let us quickly skip on ahead further.
I do like it. It looks nice.
Yeah,
It looks nice.
it is very nice, and
Yeah.
I think the overall survivability of the ship will be cool because it is a battleship with a assault, not assault. Suppose an assault layout would be a good way to describe it.
Dreadnought. I'm going with that type of dreadnought. Mixture of dreadnought, cruiser, battleship, everything that can be into one.
Yeah, it's very weird, and I like it. I like it. Let's just sum it there. I like it. It's unique. It'll have a recon plane, which would be nice. The British also get the M44, the SBG, the Thai aircraft, the Royal Thai Air Force. You get quite a number. You get 2 Alpha jets. You get a Crusader or Corsair, sorry. You get a Harrier. You get a F5A. You get a F5T SCU. You also get F16s and I think a Gripen in there as well.
Yeah.
All of these vehicles are in the game, so we're not going to go into too
No,
much
it's no
detail there.
use. Yeah.
They carry AIM-9s. They carry their own indigenous ordnance. Yeah, don't know what else to tell you guys. They're pretty much as what's in the game. Like we mentioned earlier, China's receiving a new TOR system at
Yes.
11.7. There's a new model for the T26.
I want to see this.
At 34 minutes.
Oh, it looks quite nice actually.
It's very derpy, and it looks like he's got 2 little eyes. So I'm looking forward to the skins and camos that's going to come out about that.
Looks pretty cool.
Now, if we jump quickly through to 35 minutes 16 seconds, you'll see the VBCI. Now, I covered this, and Easy's also covered this in earlier videos, but I just want to talk about something quickly on the VBCI. So, for all intents and purposes, this is pretty much the same as some of the Italian autocannons. It's got a 25mm. It's fucking huge, and it's got relatively decent mobility for its size. I wouldn't say it's great. That's decent,
but it's big.
Now, yeah, it's huge. The armor is okay. It's not great. It's an IFV, so it's not going to tank a tank round, but it'll survive some machine guns. Now, if you quickly look on the top right of the turret, right, there's what looks like a hexagonal thing. Almost looks like a pad of honeycombs, just on the right-hand side. So that is the Jalion APS, as I understand. So that is supposed to act as an active protection system. However, as far as I know, I don't know if it will change, but as far as I know, the APS is not being modeled into the game. Gaijin why? That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
This vehicle's unique thing is the fact that it has an APS. Like, that's all I'm going to say. I was a little bit disappointed about finding that out, and it sits at the same HBR as the VBCI2. So if you guys are looking at that is where it sits. So it'll sit on the far left of the French tech tree in the light vehicle category. And then we can jump through, I think, to the next big, beautiful bird of the update.
The Rafale. Yes.
What is this?
That is
7 minutes.
Yeah, I'm at 37, 70.
Some change.
Oh, It is nice. What a good looking aircraft. And very
So
modern
I have
aircraft.
it is incredibly modern, and
Yeah.
it's actually a very stealthy aircraft
Mm-hmm.
for what it is. It's got a very low RCS. So I have another nitpick with this. Okay, so the the Grom 2s were taken away from the Su 34, 34, because they were just too broken, right? The rocket propelled projectiles with glide bomb capability and tracking and moving target, they were just too much, right? The Grom 2s were just too much. Never mind the fact that it was a laser guided, okay? Now they add the Raphael. The Raphael has a similar weapon system, but this weapon system is also lasered, but it can also track on an IR basis. So you fire it, you laser it for a bit, and it'll track the last little bit on its own.
Hmm.
Make it make sense, guys.
Yeah,
But
make
you
it make
won't
sense.
give the Brimstone the capability that it has evenly. You won't give the Su-34 the Grom 2s, but you'll give the Raphael this. That's all I'm going to say. Make of that what you will. But anyway, I often have to have quite an internal struggle with myself between which one I like more, the Eurofighter or the Raphael,
My
because they're both just really beautiful.
I like I, the Eurofighter for me is nice, but the Eurofighter for me, like in the American Air Force lineup, is like the F-16. I like it,
Yeah,
but I would rather take the F-14 or the F-15.
that's fair.
The Eurofighter compared to the Rafale, the Eurofighter is nice. F-16, F-14, the Rafale. Any. It is just such a sexy aircraft, and as Squire would say, we have come now into the world of fiction. As Squire would say, okay, because this
Yeah.
thing is so new, so modern.
Hmm.
I am actually surprised when I saw it in the trailer, the teaser trailer, that it's coming already to the game. I was like, this is Gaijin, you are rushing top tier F jets. You are rushing it. Really, you are.
Yeah, they really are.
This is so modern. This thing was recently built. There's not even a significant amount of numbers of them in the French Air Force at the moment.
Yeah.
It
But
is.
that being said, I'm glad they added it anyway.
No, I thought it eventually would come. I just didn't think it would be so soon. Really.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It
Yeah, look,
is.
I mean, I think after the J10, I think it'd be soon, but I didn't realize it would be as soon. I thought it would still
Yeah.
come only next year.
Yeah.
But hey,
Still a
it's here
couple of
now, so
updates
let's quickly.
away.
Yeah, no, it's here now, so let's quickly talk about it. So it comes with the Mica EMs. These are the extended range Micas. I believe these are the semi-active radar homing. It should theoretically get magics and some other air-to-air ordnance. I don't know exactly what it will get, but pretty much anything the Mica will be able, the Raphael will be able to operate. That's the long and the short of it.
Give me
And
two
this thing is
secs.
incredibly fast. No problem. In the meantime, let me babble on into the next vehicle. So yeah, it comes with a bunch of guided ordnance. A lot of them are rocket propelled. If I can just find them. Where did that screen go? There you go. So that's the full ordnance that it can carry. So you can get GBU-12s, GBU-22s, 16s, 24s. So paveways 2s and 3s. And you also get the AASMs 250s in the various formats, the 38, the 64, and the SBU 54s, as well as Mica EM air-to-air missiles. And then you obviously have your standard ordnance, which is quite nice indeed.
It's got a lot. It's got a lot. And I got an
Yeah, no,
idea
it's not a lot.
uh, how useful the stealthy aspect to what you said would actually work in War Thunder. As we had a chat earlier about ATA vehicles in the game, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'll be interested to see how much the IRL stealth actually plays out. But anyway, let's just jump to 40 minutes quick, where you can see the AASMs, sorry, in action. You can see how Mike basically just pops these things off, and there you go. These kind of function almost like the Spike ERs, which is a little bit frustrating.
Uh,
They do have, as he says there, they do have a very noticeable trail, so they will be very visible. But let's be honest, how many times are you guys looking up to the sky until you see one of your mates die, and then by then it's already too late?
too late, yeah. That's another thing. I mean, there are no real defined players in War Thunder what would say, I am just a cast player. I am just a tank, because War Thunder is set up in the way that you need to play the other one to get to the other one.
Yeah,
There is no more
100%.
that option of you only focusing. And I think that is something that will hamper this game from ever going to esports or anything like that, because you got to be a jack of all trades and a master of none, literally,
Yeah,
in this game.
100%.
That is the thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. So at 42 minutes 39 seconds, you can see the cockpit of the Raphael. It's very gorgeous. I quite like it. A bit cramped, but thankfully Frenchmen are small and lithe, so they can fit in it. Very clean, very fresh, very nice. It does come with a very crisp HMD. I do believe that they are introducing, especially with fighter, the IFF, which is already on one of the A10s in the American tech tree, so it'll be other nations as well. The Dutch are also getting at 43 minutes 43 seconds. The Dutch are getting a premium Apache, and that'll go in the French tech tree. It's an Apache. I'm not going to write on home about that. At
Nothing to.
44 minutes, yeah, no, exactly. At 44 minutes, 41 seconds, more or less, you can even do 44 straight. You
Yeah,
can see that there is a new CV90 coming to the game, and
the
I'm
mark.
sure there'll be one Swedish boy very happy about this.
Yeah,
This one comes with spikes and has slightly better armor than some of the other CV90s in the game. It's got side skirts now with composite. I think it's called the Side Pro armor, which is rated to withstand some autocannons.
yeah. So
But yeah,
this with
spikes on a CV90.
yeah,
It plays exactly the same.
yeah, the spikes are gonna make a big difference.
Yeah, it adds the firepower, but
Yeah.
otherwise it still plays the same. Israel, I know it's your favorite tech tree,
Yep.
gets another Nama chassis. This is the Tsechen. I probably butchered that, and I do apologize. But essentially, it's just a turreted, better armored turret, Nama 30 with the spikes. It has an APS because why the hell not? I guess. Yeah, that's that. It's still got the same gun, same ability. It's an uncrewed remote turret with
Which is
a
very nice.
spike missile on top. Yeah, very nice. Good job for the Israelis, and I think it also just fills that gap a bit.
Yeah, and
And I think that's pretty much it in terms of vehicles.
I think that helps the Israelis, but I still say that the Israelis should have been in another tech tree. So sorry about the noise in the background. Yeah, I just think it's nice seeing these. I've got a big beef with the Israelis, but not because of the Israelis. Their vehicles are cool and that. It's just the niche that they fill.
Yeah.
So
the
yeah,
gameplay mechanics and stuff.
yeah. They, I still feel my opinions still are the same as never changed. But yeah. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
And I
they.
think that's it. I don't really want to go into too much because I think we'll leave that as a bit of a surprise. But for those who do want to watch the dev stream, it is here on the War Thunder channel. As you can see, it's all here.
Yeah.
Lovely and Daisy do. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, it's the first time watching it. This dev stream didn't really show us a lot of vehicles, but we'll have to tend to and wait for the second dev stream if they're gonna have one to see even more stuff.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
think what's
hoping,
nice with yeah.
I'm hoping for a bit more. As everyone knows, I'm an early tier player. I'm hoping for a bit more early tier stuff. Some nations really
Yeah.
do need it.
No, for sure. Hey. But I think what's nice about this particular update is that it is going to just basically brush up on what the Firebirds update brought in terms of quality of life stuff.
I wish we haven't even
And
touched really.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of quality of life
Yeah.
changes within the Firebirds update. Some of it is just too much to go into, frankly. And yeah, I don't know. I'm in two minds about some of the stuff added, as you guys probably heard. But overall, I think it's a nice little Christmas present. It gives us a bunch of really cool vehicles that are not going to be overly inundating the game, but also add unique characteristics and playstyles. And some of the stuff is really good in terms of it being added. It does sort of level the playing field, if I can say it like that. Just a quick one before we dash. I want to take a quick moment to talk about the F-18. Now, I saw a lot of people while I was watching the dev server saying that, oh, when's the F-18 coming? Now, please understand this, American mains. You are not the only motherfuckers who play the game.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of the countries need a chance too, because let's face it, the F-18 is pretty much better than anything else that is going to be fielded, right? Save for the Eurofighter and the Raphael. The Gripen C is smaller. It doesn't have as good of a radar. So unless they're going to add the Gripen D, which the South Africans have modified, and I will quite proudly say that, unless they're going to add the South African Gripen Ds and the various Saab Ds as well, then sure, fine, bring the F-18, because then that's a relatively even fight. If you want to say that the F-18 is going to do something different, well, sorry to say, the F-15E can do pretty much everything the F-18 can. The only difference is that the F-15 can't take off from an aircraft carrier. The F-18 can, which is what its primary role is to take off from an aircraft carrier. So, with that being said, the F-18 will probably come sometime next year. If I had to guess, probably around the middle of the year, or maybe the second update into the year. That's my hypothesis. That's my guess. I don't think it is necessary for the F-18 to come because, again, there are other aircraft that do the same job, if not better, than the F-18. Remember, the F-18 is an aircraft to fill the job of what the Navy requires, which is an air intercept and fleet support aircraft, which, for those among us who are not perhaps clued up on what that means, that means it's meant to get aircraft down that are not friendly towards the fleet, as well as provide close air support to the fleet and to naval operations. Because again, remember the Marine Corps is part of the Navy as a smaller branch. It's not its own independent branch. It requires the Navy to operate, and it responds to the Navy. It answers to the Navy. So that is what the F-15 does. The F-18, sorry. The F-18 fills the niche of the F-15 on an aircraft carrier. That is what it does. That is what it's supposed to do. That is how it plays out. It is the same as an F-15E. Please stop asking about the Hornet. It'll come when it comes. You don't hear the British going on about, or the British mains, or the French mains going on about the Raphael or the Eurofighter Typhoon when you guys were getting your F-15. Yes, we were upset when the J-10 came, but other than that, we haven't complained a whole lot.
Look, yeah.
Okay?
You guys, every South
Well,
African is wanting the cheetah.
and that still hasn't fucking come.
And that's only a 4th gen fighter. The last upgrade package was 4th gen. That still hasn't come. I was advocating for the Roy Falk and the Super Hind to come in. But I was advocating for the Super Hind to be a store pack and the Roy Falk a GE pack. And it was totally fucking opposite. We don't always get what we want. We have to be happy with what we get. Especially when it comes to War Thunder. Take it or leave it.
Like, look, Gaijin might prove me wrong. Gaijin might add it in January. Okay.
Whatever. With the Rafale, I don't know. I could think they could come maybe a bit early. I don't. But maybe in the middle of next year, I do kind of agree with you on that one. Remember, they need to make money in the new year. So yeah.
This is fair. But yeah, the F-18 will come when it comes, if it comes.
When they're ready to.
And I think the thing is as well that Gaijin doesn't see the F-18 as being anything unique. Again, it's the same thing that the F-15 does. It provides air intercept. It provides ground support, right? The F-15 can do both. And it can do it better because it can carry more. It's not restricted by carrier loadouts. It's
Mm.
not restricted by flight deck length. The F-15 can take off on a 1,800-meter runway, right? Yes, that's a bit extreme, but it can do that. The F-18, unless you give it the anti-radiation missiles, then yeah, maybe there's an argument there. Or the anti-ship missiles, and allow more modern, and I say modern with a pinch of salt because I know that we already have modern ships in the game. But if you allow for an increased number of quote unquote Cold War era ships, say the Arleigh Burke as an example, the Type 95 frigate, all of those, if you allow those to be added, then sure, bring the F-18 in because then it has a role to fill, right? Until then, there's no point really in adding it other than just to tech tree. And you guys will admit that if the American aviation tech tree is already very full. That's just my passing words on that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Mm.
Please do leave a like if you managed to stick around to the end. Let us know what you think about. Let us know, and also share your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Leave a like, subscribe, all those good things. And myself and Easy will catch you guys in the next one. Any parting?
Yeah, just thanks, Cannonman, for coming and let's doing this. Sorry for a bit of the noise in the background. Yeah, go check out Cannonman's Gaming, everyone from my side, please. As you can hear in his talk, he knows quite a bit that's going on in War Thunder. I would even say he knows a lot more than I do. Go check out his channel. He's made some very interesting stuff that I wish I could make, but I'm too damn lazy. And yeah, just if you want more content from us, hit that like, join our Discords, our socials. Subscribe would be a great help. We've got quite a bit more content planned, a lot of stuff evolving around War Thunder. So yeah, stay in tune. Just hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, and yeah, you'll be kept updated on our streams, our videos, on everything. It'll be really appreciated, and it will help us a lot as well. So this new map is actually sickening, the choke points on it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a video for another day.
Yeah, don't even get me started. But yeah.
All right.
Guys, also sorry that this was such a long one, but we felt it necessary to really go through the dev server and just break down the stuff and really share our thoughts from a different perspective. You guys often get quite a lot of European perspectives and a lot of guys that are affiliated to Gaijin or, you know, have a specific mentality. So we thought we would just do this as our own sort of take on it, as a suppose a South African take on it, I guess.
We know we'll never get affiliated, and we know we'll never get a sponsorship from War Thunder. So yeah, we've said too many nasty things about them before. But the game is still, the reason we do it is because we love the game and we want to see the game succeed. Too many good games have come out and have just died off because of no one would speak up against the developers because they thought it was a communist system. But it's not a communist system. Yeah, that's basically
you have
it.
a voice.
Yeah.
You've shown this before.
And you got to make your voice known. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and peace out, guys.
Yeah, keep
Love
well,
me a soda.
and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.